I've flown south with the snowbirds to Collier's Reserve in southwest Florida. This country club and residential community in Naples is nestled on 450 acres along the Cocohatchee River. The reason I'm here is that in 1993, Collier's Reserve became the world's first Audubon signature sanctuary. The habitat-rich estate is home to a wide variety of plants and animal species, including the previously endangered Gopher Tortoise. Today, the club is on a quest to go beyond its current gold status with Audubon and become the world's first platinum signature sanctuary. Let's go and meet the people who are leading the way in environmental stewardship. First, I met Superintendent Kleinedler to take a look at the habitat that has allowed the previously endangered Gopher Tortoise to thrive.
So this is a Gopher Tortoise burrow right here. You can tell it's pretty active. There's some little markings down in there. You can tell the sand's been worked around a little bit, and they connect actually. So there's another one right over here, another little spot, and then there's a third one here. So I guarantee all these underground are all connected to each other. And at one point they were endangered, and now they're off the endangered species list. But and we kind of joke around that this is why they're off the list, because there's so many here on this property. And there's so many, in fact, that we've teamed up with the Conservancy of Southwest Florida. And whenever they rehabilitate a local Gopher Tortoise, they give us a call for a nearby release. We do that multiple times throughout the year, and it's a major success story for us here with that species. I mean, how cool is this that you can walk up to play golf and you've got a Gopher Tortoise burrow right between two walk-ups to two different tee boxes. So you could be playing golf at a lot of places, but coming off a tee box and a formerly endangered species pops its head out to say hi, it's pretty cool. And it's pretty unique, you know, and we have these throughout the entire golf course. And it's funny, I think they tend to prefer these tee complexes because you kind of look at the design. These were all push-up areas originally, like big sand mounds almost. So it's just inviting to any Gopher Tortoise to come in and make a nice little home in the side of that sand burrow.
And what do the members think of it? I mean, you've got, the ladies are playing competition today, you've just teed off.
Oh yeah, they love it. They absolutely love it. I mean, how can you not? I mean, it's so unique, you know, and it's not a nuisance pest or anything like that. It's something that's very special and unique and native to Florida environment.
Changing climate, including extreme weather events, has created challenges with pests. Ken's approach has been to employ both chemical and biological treatments.
All right, so this is a symptom of the Bermuda grass mite. And we've learned from our studies that mites love salt. At least I was told this. I did some soil sampling and confirmed that anywhere where we typically see this pest, it's high in salts. Well, we have natural salt that comes from our reclaimed water, can't help it, and we're in a drought. So after a long period of time of watering with that same water, it builds up in the soil, right? And then we start to see this symptom. The mites know, they come in. Now, if you were here and you can smell thyme oil a little bit in the air. It smells like a little fragrant. That's what we use to actually spray the mites and control the mites in there.
And the thyme oil is actually from the herb?
It's from the herb thyme, yeah. So we'll go out and we'll actually treat it, and along with a natural wetting agent to get into the plant, which takes out the mite. 3 days to 5 days later, we'll repeat the application because there's little eggs in there that'll hatch, so that'll kind of wipe them all out. And then we also parlay that with silica to strengthen the plant's cell wall, rebuild those cell walls, and also push out any sodium that's in that plant. So it pushes off sodium and also builds resilience in the plant as well.
Next, we went to look at one of the club's butterfly gardens. What started as one small patch has now been expanded to a property-wide pollinator program. Ken, what have we got here?
So this is one of our main butterfly gardens on the property. We've got several throughout the entire property. And one of the things we did here when we established all these gardens was we took an aerial of the entire property and we teamed up with the HOA, and we made sure that they had everything they needed, from a water source nearby to a food source here like the milkweed, the native milkweed that you see.
I mean, this is a fairly small space, but it just shows what you can do even with a small space.
Yeah, and it's nice because we can really highlight that as people leave the practice facility here and they go to the first tee and this 10th tee. They see these gardens throughout the entire round as they play the golf course.
And everything's well signed as well, so you're informing people at the same time.
We are, yeah. So we have signs coming this way that, hey, we have a butterfly garden here, and there's another sign that we're part of the Monarchs in the Rough program with Audubon International. So they kicked that off, and we decided to take this one butterfly garden and expand them throughout the entire property. And so it's been really successful getting that across everything and raising that awareness of the monarch butterfly.
Collier's Reserve is rich in diverse bird life. Former golf course superintendent Brian Beckner advises clubs on how to increase native bird species.
So one thing that I do whenever I come on property like Collier's Reserve today is we may come and see birds. That's a small flock of cormorants. If all we saw here today was massive flocks of one species, sure, it's got the wow factor, but that isn't diversity. We need diversity. So on this site already, we have the anhinga, the cormorants, we have the great blue heron, we have our osprey up here. That is the diversity. Those are the layers that we are looking for whenever we show up on property. If we have a property that does not have those layers, we try to teach and educate our superintendents how do we create that diversity to encourage more wildlife to a site. Nature, it's not going away. We as humans have disrupted their cycle with the amount of land development and urbanization that we have. This is our urban green space, and we have the harnessed opportunity to be able to share it with wildlife. And when we have a balanced ecosystem like this here at the club, we are able to draw more of them in and put up bird houses, which is cavity loss and habitat loss, so we give them an opportunity. In addition to then the sustainable habitat, like you see the great blue heron going over there, to be able to relax in the shade.
Next, I went to meet Club Association Manager Greg Anderson. I asked Greg what made Collier's Reserve distinct from most golf and residential communities.
It was unique in that the developer came in here, and instead of just bulldozing everything down, he took the 450 acres, dedicated almost 200 acres back to the conservation land. The golf course was then built, and the roads were put in here. The other unique part is they then, once they sold the lots, the owners were able to come in here and just cut out enough of the vegetation to build a lot and leave everything else natural. So it's been designed so it can be very native friendly. Animals roam through here, and it continues to stay that way.
And why was that? Why was the decision taken for it to be very kind of nature friendly?
Well, as they got in here and looked at the community and realized how much native gopher tortoises and alligators and other things were natural in here, it didn't make sense to disturb all that. It was much easier just to then, instead of, the original plan was 385 lots, they brought it down to 228 lots, and they just made more conservation land.
And tell me about that development. Was thought given to where plots went?
Absolutely, a lot of thought was given to that because they first looked at where they could put this country club and the golf course and meander it through the conservation land. And from there then they laid out the streets and put the lots and made sure the lots were then set back quite a ways from the golf course so you didn't have them interfering with a beautiful view.
So the Audubon Signature Sanctuary, just tell me about that and what that means and how important it is.
Yeah, so in 1993 they were given that designation, the first one in the world, before they even started developing this place. And it's very important in that because it shows that they wanted to keep the land, a lot of conservation land, a lot of native stuff. And it just was important. It's been important for the homeowners coming in here. The golf course has maintained that sanctuary status as well. They're up to gold, and we're working on going to platinum.
Finally, I caught up with Ken to ask what's next for Collier's Reserve and learn how the club and community has opened up to tell their sustainability story.
A gold standard sanctuary is the highest level of Audubon requirement for environmental stewardship. So we're held to the highest standard that they have. And being a signature sanctuary, you have to have a certain amount of upland preserve areas and buffer zones in order to make that criteria. So we're held from the strictest standards all the way from how we recycle to what we do on the golf course, our environmental practices, and how we maintain and preserve this ecosystem.
Now you're already at a very high standard, but you're on a quest now to reach platinum status.
The gold standard encompasses our golf course and everything within it. The platinum standard encompasses the entire community, which really we've had ever since the beginning. So when the program came out, we felt it was a perfect program for us. We said we want to go for it. We were the world's first signature sanctuary. Let's try to be the world's first platinum signature sanctuary community. So we have a very engaged membership here. In fact, we have a subgroup of members known as the Natural Resource Group, and constantly we are putting on events. We are doing bird walks, we are doing butterfly tours, we're making safaris, we're doing lake tours. Every different aspect of the unique environment within these gates is highlighted year after year after year by the members, with the staff, and with the community. Everyone is so engaged on this property, and that's why when we saw the Platinum opportunity, we knew that was the perfect fit, because we've been doing this for years. It was just behind closed gates. You know, sometimes at private clubs, they're private, right? But you know, this is a place that's so special. I said, you know, we need to open this out into the public even a little bit more, because we're doing some pretty special and unique things here.
It's been such an interesting day here at Collier's Reserve. I really enjoyed learning about all the sustainability projects going on across the estate, and really understanding why green spaces like this in the middle of urban areas are just so important. The fact the community is so engaged and interested and frankly so proud of what's going on here is a great sign, and I'm sure it will propel Collier's Reserve on to that platinum status with Audubon. But I think what's really interesting is that you can create an important green space like this, a great golf course, a great golfing experience, a beautiful place to live, but you can have nature and people cohabiting alongside each other successfully.